Hey all, and welcome back. I'll skip right to it. We'll be taking on a Children's of the Sun scouting party in the new upcoming mission, Oil and Water. Let's get right to it. There we go.
Whoa! We thought you collided with a meteorite or something. False alarm, guys. He's still alive. Mike, I owe you 200 credits.
It's too quiet in here.
What with how late you've been, I wouldn't be surprised if the enemy knew all of the Admiral's plans.
I am serious, Bradley. It's a trap! Prepare for combat!
For the Republic!
Bradley, situation status report.
Screw you! You're not my commanding officer!
Let's stop that fool from getting himself killed. Oh boy, he's gonna die.
Good job, guys! Let's show the captain how to kill Children of the Sun!
Bradley, be careful, you idiot!
Maybe you should be careful. It's difficult to distinguish you from the children's ships.
My damage analysis.
I feel fine, Captain. Bradley's roads haven't damaged me now, although I appreciate
I meant ship damage.
it. Moderate hull damage. Fully operational systems.
Alright, let's get this over with. We have finished enough of them, Bradley. Let's retreat.
No way! We won't leave anyone alive!
I said get back. It's too dangerous.
There aren't many enemy ships left! All power to weapons!
Bradley, answer! Damn it. Take them out. Protect Bradley's ship.
I think he's dead.
Prepare for boarding. We won't return to headquarters without that fool.
Preparing boarding.
How did I foresee that happening? You enter the ship and see the damage from the impact in plain view. Many of the systems are inoperative, while others lie completely useless on the floor. Luckily, the ship's life support systems are still active. You order the crew to search the ship for survivors and divide the group. Together with 2 men from your team, you head as fast as you can to the bridge. You advance through the corridors, avoiding the sparks from broken wires. The impact has been more severe than you thought. If there are any survivors left, it's clear that they will not last long on Bradley's ship. You reach the bridge where you find the door half open, but blocked by a mountain of debris. It seems that the ceiling of the room has completely collapsed. We must clear the door as soon as possible. Oh boy. Let's try again. You pull the last of the plates away, freeing up enough space to get through. One by one, you enter the control room. As you predicted, the vast majority of the roof has collapsed, burying Bradley under a mountain of metal. You search for him throughout the rest of the room as you quietly try to pick up any sound indicating that he is still alive. Suddenly, you hear a moan under your feet. Bradley is still alive. You remove everything you can from on top of him carefully, while yelling for him to hold on. It is not an easy task. With all the debris that has buried him, you have to be extremely careful. One false move could make the little space he has left to disappear. Are you alright? He does not look well. Some of the wreckage has pierced deeply into his legs. He has a large wound on his head from which he is bleeding profusely. You carefully release him and do a quick examination. He seems to be in shock, but he is conscious. Schmidt, is the crew alright? It was a devastating impact. The ship is destroyed. You continue explaining the situation. I've sent some of my men to scour the rest of the ship. If they're alive, we'll find them. Bradley does not seem to understand very well what you are saying to him. What happened to the scouts? We finished them off. Bradley remains silent as you prepare to move him, but first you sedate him to prevent him from suffering more. The fact that it could have been you in the situation gives you chills. It is a miracle he is still alive and his crew is most likely dead. As you inject him with the painkillers, you hear an almost imperceptible whimper. Thank you. You return to the others. With some difficulty, you manage to get Bradley through the hatch. Put him on a stretcher and head back to your ship. The other group is waiting for you there with some of the surviving crew members. As soon as they see Bradley, they rush towards him in concern, but you immediately calm them down. We've sedated him. He took quite a blow, but he'll recover. Your captain is a hard nut to crack. We must go back to headquarters.
Captain, we've managed to stop the bleeding for now, but Bradley has a severe concussion. Without the right equipment, he will die.
Bradley has to survive. Drug him, tube him, whatever you want, but keep him alive.
Yes, Captain.
Okay, so before we head back, I'm just gonna repair my ship. It took quite a beating.
Republic ship requesting docking permission, please.
Welcome, Captain. Dock at the assigned bay, please.
Let's make this quick.
Docking complete. Shutting down engines. Opening floodgates.
Oh, it looks like there's a quest of some sort. Let's do that quickly, shall we? All right. Oh boy, I hit a random rock and survived.
Seriously? Another interception?
Activate the shields! All hands to battle stations! One of the enemy ships has been destroyed. Excellent work, team. Are you all okay?
Yay, salvage. Let's get this over with. Headquarters. As soon as the ship's ramp comes into contact with the ground, the medical team rushes Bradley in critical condition to the medical center. Against all odds, the captain is still alive. Now all you can do is leave him in the good hands and hope for the best. You head to the command room where Kendra Mason is. You have to report the destruction of the Children of the Sun's scouts and what happened to Captain Bradley, the Admiral's most trusted man, into the command room. The Admiral awaits standing in front of one of the terminals hanging up on the transmission. Captain Schmidt, I was waiting for you. Won't you look at that? The Republic's headquarters under my command. A few months ago it was all I wanted, but I never imagined it would be like this. Our army is smaller than ever. The Children of the Sun are raging through our systems, spreading chaos and hunting us like flies. What do you have left when a life of dedication falls apart piece by piece? Pick up the pieces and rebuild it. Mason smiles. Maybe you're right, Captain. Mason shakes her head gently. We must keep pushing. NATO still wants something we have, and we cannot allow him to get it. We've begun recruiting troops. New recruits are beginning their training alongside the most capable captains. We must strengthen our ranks while we still can. But we cannot win this battle alone. We need allies. Allies? The war with the Children of the Sun does not just affect the Interstellar Republic. It's time for the rest of the galaxy to fight with for their survival. Since the beginning of the conflict, the SMC has been affected. Many of its commercial routes have been completely closed, and even many of its facilities have passed into the control of the Children of the Sun. You saw it on Zaya. We must meet with the corporation's board of directors and secure the support of its security forces. We've arranged a hearing and would like for you to speak for us, Schmidt. I'm afraid I can't leave headquarters at present. How am I going to convince the SMC? I spoke personally with Catherine Jones after the prisoners who were rescued on the Zaya settled in. The woman seemed really affected by whatever was going on there. She has as much against Children of the Sun as we do, and as a member of the council, I'm sure she can speak on your behalf. Besides, you won't be alone. I'll send Bradley and Captain Burrows and Dunn, my most trusted men. I know there are some differences between you and the commander, but the fact that you're both back safe and sound shows that you can work together. Admiral Bradley is at the medical center. You had almost forgot about Jesse Bradley. Your crew took him to the medical center in hopes of saving him, but his condition is quite serious. You speak without hesitation. Admiral, I must inform you that Bradley's ship fell to the scouts we were hunting down. We've been able to get him off the ship, but he is in serious condition. Admiral Mason's eyes widen in surprise. What happened? Bradley fought bravely. You explain the explorers ambushed us at the coordinates we had detected, and they opened fire. Bradley fought bravely, and we managed to get the explorers to begin to retreat. While we were following them, one of them managed to seriously damage Bradley's ship. We chased the remaining Children of the Sun and came as quickly as we could to their rescue. We found Bradley on the bridge completely buried. The ship had been badly damaged and most of his crew had perished. Mason remained silent. The news has affected her deeply. You will leave immediately and look after our interests in the hearing with the SMC. Do not fail us. Trying to disguise the concern, she advances towards the exit of the room, turning her back on you. By the way, Captain. Yes, Admiral? There's a recruit who has not ceased to beg me to make you the captain in charge of his instruction. At first I refused, but he was particularly convincing. He must be waiting for you at the spaceport with Catherine and the captains. Take care of him. I assure you he holds you in great esteem. The Admiral says goodbye to you and leaves the room. You return to the spaceport deep in thought. Admiral Mason was right. If you want to win the war, you will have to seek out as many allies as you can before the next battle. You have no idea how to convince the SMC to join the offensive, but you have to if you want to win the war. Get back to the ship. You arrive at the spaceport and head towards your ship. Already from afar, you can see someone next to the gangway with a big storage box waiting for you. As soon as you are close enough, you recognize the young man you took aboard the ship after leaving Zaya. Patrick Jackson. Greetings, Captain. Admiral Mason has assigned me to your ship. I thought it would be better to wait for you before boarding. All right, Patrick. Take your stuff inside. You lead Patrick through the ship towards his cabin. He had already been there for a while with the rest of the rescued prisoners, but it is a mere formality before the instruction begins. That young man has personally chosen you as his captain. You would be lying if you said that it did not endear him to you. You arrive at the room where Patrick will be staying during his training. Normally he would have gone through a couple of years training first, but due to the Interstellar Republic's present situation, the process has been streamlined. In any case, it is now up to you to decide when the recruit is ready to take the admission exam and officially become part of the crew. You shall assist the crew in their duties. You explain the routine he must follow while traveling with you. Patrick will start helping the crew on their shifts, doing tasks and getting the hang of things. It's the first step to becoming a crew member. The young man listens to you quietly with a slight smile on his face, and once you finish, he does a military salute and begins to store his belongings. When you're done, head to the reactor room. You take advantage of the fact that the rest of the crew is preparing for takeoff to go to talk to Catherine Jones. Since the rest of her... My apologies. Since the rescue of her son Michael and everything that had happened at the SMC's old processing plant, she has barely said a word. You knock on the door of the same cabin she had been in during her time on the ship, and you find her there as you suspected. Greetings, Captain. How do you feel, Catherine? Better. Ever since Michael and I got imprisoned on Zaya, this has been a real crazy trip. But if we're safe and sound, it's thanks to you, Captain. You saved us both. Thanks to you, we managed to free John Banner and almost a dozen other prisoners. If anyone should say thank you, it's us. You both remain silent. What can I expect from the SMC's council? It's hard to tell, Captain. The ideals of the council members are far from disparate than the people think. All important matters that go through our hands are then put to a vote. It's a small democratic system where each member looks out for their own interests. It is no secret that many of the members of the SMC reject the Republic. But as long as the others are a majority, the organization must give in. In any case, it would be better if as soon as we get to the Citadel, you let me do the talking. That will greatly increase our chances of success. Understood, Catherine. I trust you.
Burroughs and Dunn present, awaiting new orders, Captain. Admiral Mason has assigned us to your command to ensure the success of the mission.
Copy that. We'll leave immediately for the hearing with the Council. We will keep the ships at a secure distance to avoid attracting attention. At the slightest setback, we will contact each other to report the situation.
At your orders, Captain.
All right, and that concludes this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry about the fast dialogue. I tend to read fast, but anyway. Cool. I'll see you all in the next one.